So welcome. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. And let me kick this off. So first off, my name's Christina, and I'll give you more of an introduction on who I am and where I'm at. We're going to do this is kind of a deep dive into 2026, planning for your marketing in 2026. And I just want to give you a little overview of the things that we're going to be doing. First, I'm going to talk about industry trends. I did some research on what's happened in 2025 when it comes to home moves. I want to share that with you. Apartments, trends that we're seeing with people moving out as young people, apartments. We'll talk into marketing trends too. We'll go into AI. We'll go into how that's affecting who's coming to your site and how we're getting answered. I'll go into the types of AI and the searches. We'll go into search other areas in terms of how it's affecting people coming to your site and getting those leads. We're going to also talk about setting goals for 2026. I have an entire workbook. If you haven't downloaded yet, I've got a link in there. You'll be able to see. We'll go into various marketing strategies, things you need to be thinking about as you build this in. You've got a good 2-3 weeks before 2026 begins. Now's the time to start thinking about that. I know for myself, I spend the last week really power research on my own and what I can do to help you, what needs to happen. Map an action plan. We'll kind of come up with maybe some KPIs, the things we need to really measure. Whenever I have conversation with movers like yourself, the question is on how many, on average, leads do you get? Most people don't really kind of know. So let's see if we can solve that. We'll create a budget. I've got a nifty little tool anybody can use. It's open, it's free. You can kind of put your numbers in and figure out what kind of marketing budget you should have. We'll create a budget and also the kind of channels. And I do want to have a Q&A. Feel free, ask any questions that you might have. Yep. Hello back at you, David. Hi, Andre. Nice to see you guys. Now, if you go here to movingmarketingresults.com/annual workbook, and let me throw this, it's probably easier. I'm just going to copy this here for you guys. Throw that in the chat. There we go, to make sure. Yeah, one thing I have to do is make sure everybody is getting in. There we go. All right, so if you go here, hi Kirk, if you go here, there is a workbook. Feel free, copy it onto your own Google Drive, download it if you want. You should have gotten this in some of the emails that I've been sending, but this is a nice little tool here. So let's see here. Where am I going here? Yeah. So it should look like this. This is what you should be getting. So if you come over here, you can download it right here, a PDF file, and it'll kind of follow through on some of the things that I'll be talking about. This one is your lead generation target. This one you're going to want to copy. And let me get one in there for that as well. There we go. Better do it that way. This one goes into much more depth, and I think I've got that loaded up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a copy. This is what you should see. Hit make a copy. And this is a whole, just go to town with it. There's all kinds of data in here. I made a smaller version of it, which I'll share with you in a minute. It goes into your target. It goes into breaking it down into the type of marketing, budget allocations that I've got in here. So this should be pulling in your marketing budget, which we'll talk about too. Marketing budget, just real quick. People always ask me what percentage. Between 5 and 15%. If you're just starting your business and you're in that first year, you probably could only do 5%, but we recommend 7 because you got to kick it off hard and get people to find you. Then as you get more established, maybe 7 to 10%. You might, if you're even more established, you might go 5%. 15% is like really aggressive. You're pushing hard. You're like, people are going to find me no matter what. And so just kind of what feels good for you. This gives you an entire annual marketing budget. So let's just say you're 600,000. I want to do 5%. That brings me down to 30,000 per year. And then that breaks down to about 2,500 per month. So if you're asking yourself, what's their marketing budget typically be? That's kind of how you want to look at that. Now, a little bit about me, Christina Hawkins. I have been doing this over 2 decades. I have stopped counting at this point. I did 10 years in the Defense Department as a logistician. So I did a lot of the warehousing and inventory for the military. I worked that side. And so part of my job was during various wars, bringing all that equipment back and forth in various containers, and then inventory levels. We were working on inventory software at the time. I ended up marrying a Marine. Couldn't keep that job because we moved every 2 years. And I ended up kind of, like I said, every 2 years of my life, I've moved. I've worked for the military. I married military, was born into the military, lived on military bases my whole life. I've done military moves, corporate moves, personal moves, down the street moves, you name the move, I've done the move, international moves. So I've have a lot of experience in that side of things when it comes to inventory, logisticians, and moving itself. I work with different moving companies across the country. I have another business that we do a lot of work with other types of home services, remodelers, and construction companies. And I take a lot of what I learned on either side of the industry and I kind of share what can help you guys as well. I have actually in the middle of writing my book. I'm almost done, but you can see I had to go through another editing. So the book's almost done, but I found issues. So I got to go back to the editor and redo it because I not a perfectionist, but it's got to be right. All right. And in addition, just I've been mentoring other small businesses, some of them with me for 20 plus years, and they're all good people. Exclusively working with moving companies for the past 3 years, all different types and sizes across the nation and Canada. Then this is our team. Mission is to double the sales of 1,000 moving companies. Javier, this is the whole team here. We're about ready to hire 2 more. Just hiring a Facebook ad manager, and we're kind of building out as much as we can. We're keeping it small. I don't intend to get massive and huge. I like having conversations with people like yourself. And so I prefer that. All right, now let's get into nailing your marketing in 2026. All right, let me just go over a little bit of things that I found out research-wise as we think about planning for the next year. So 2025 home sales are ticking up slightly, and I double-checked that. I figured in the last couple months, things have been changing, but it still is the same. Forecast just over 4 million homes sold, steady gains reported in late 2025. Mortgage rates are driving behavior. If you have some other data, I would just let me hear it. I'd love to hear if you had other. I'm getting this all from NAR. This is all coming from the NAR website. So I did some research. This is where I'm finding a lot of that data, not just making it up. Mortgage rates driving behavior. Rates around 6% kept buyers cautious, but recent easing sparked for some new interest. Inventory is growing. Buyers are getting more options, a bit more negotiating power when it comes to buying homes. Affordability kind of remains a challenge. Pent-up demand is building and expected to release in 2026. I like number 5. Pent-up demand is building and expected to release more in 2026 as rates continue to decline. And what we've seen since the pandemic, we had that real high peak in the pandemic, 2020, 2021, 2022. Since then, it's been going down. And that's just the trend that we've seen. So 2026, I'm optimistic. Existing home sales to rise by about 14% in 2026, driven by easing mortgage rates and steady job growth. Now, the job growth, again, I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but this is again from the National Association of Realtors. Some regional focus here, slower relocations in Dallas, Atlanta, and Tampa. I was surprised to see smaller cities, suburbs are seeing increased activity. This one, young adults have been kind of waiting to buy homes and to move out of the house. There's been some traction to get them into apartments, and their first starter homes is what we're kind of seeing. Let me go back up here. Seasonal trends, construction delays impact peak moving, obviously, highlighting the service. So marketing and outreach, highlight your services in high demand regions with migration focused campaigns and affordability messaging. So one thing that I've found in terms of sales, it's a lot of price, right? So there's a lot of people that call to get the cheapest rate. And what I'm hearing in the sales calls is they immediately go into, well, we're $180 an hour, 3 hours minimum. Instead of starting the conversation of this, hey, these are the things, this is who we are, this is how we can help you. We have guarantees, we've got warranties, whatever kind of thing you can do to help that customer feel at ease. Maybe instead of always fighting for the price, there's always going to be somebody cheaper. So how can we fight that cheap and get somebody that's willing to pay for the value? All right, moving on. We've got demand. So this is one of the return to office trends. People tend to go back to the office now. There's been a bit of trend that we're seeing, not so much working from home, office space. I know from our clients, we're seeing a lot of commercial moves, which is a good signal. And let's go into marketing. So operational adjustments align. This is another study. This came from AN Data. I'm actually going to show you where I got this from, because I like to be transparent and show you guys everything, where I get the data. And of course it can't be done. Let me see if it's going to work now. I actually had it and we're not doing it now. Buggers, man, where did it go? 2026. There we go. Yeah, some numbers here. Full analysis. This year saw vast improvement. Supply and demand relationship was due to partially to decline in new supply. What this all means for 2026. So again, I'm going to throw this in. You guys go through, and if hopefully that's of interest to you, some data about apartment moves. So, all right, aligning resources to match rising demand in local housing hotspots, partner with realtors. And most, you guys are going to know this. You guys already partner with realtors, interior designers. People have asked me, should I get connected with appliance centers? I say yes. During these downtimes, I think starting to think outside of just home moves, getting into apartments, storage, junk removals. We've got some that are going into the concierge movement where they do the entire pipeline of a move. So we've got one that's we'll get you the entire process from cleaning your home, removing the junk, unpacking, packing, moving, unpacking, organizing, cleaning, on the entire process, which I think is fabulous. If you can get the people involved and get your trucks especially for junk removals, economic sensitivity, flexible services like small moves, like I was saying, storage, packing can cater to budget conscious clients. Tailored commercial services support moves to smaller, cost-effective spaces to kind of take advantage of the folks that are going back into the office. Again, back to that concierge concept of offering specialized IT. So if you have somebody that can know how to unplug, redo the IT infrastructure, moving from one to another, that would be a great add-on. Modular setup, hybrid downsizing businesses. All right, important marketing trends. Now, some of these things we'll go into. The first is the continued popularity of AI. We all know this. We are seeing a decline in traffic to websites as people get answers within chats like ChatGPT and Gemini. That's an answer search engine where they're getting the answer to how much does it cost to move in my city? How do I pack? How do I pack my stereo system? That's all getting answered within AI. So we are seeing a little less traffic going to websites to get those answers. The online scheduling, clients would prefer to schedule directly online. That's a trend I've seen. I know that gets very difficult. I would say scheduling to have that conversation. I prefer when somebody fills out a form on the landing page is a instant scheduler, especially the forms. We all know when somebody fills out a form, how hard it is to get back in touch with them. They fill it out at 10 o'clock at night. They fill it out at 5 p.m. just as they're leaving the office and they want to get an answer from you. You try and call them back and it's a nightmare. So if we can figure out a way, they fill out the form on the landing page is a scheduler to have that conversation with you, schedule it out for the next day, whatever. That works very well. Two-way text messaging, give your clients the option to text versus call. I think as we get this, the generation 20s and 30s, I have a 23-year-old. She's not much into texting, but my 18-year-old is all about the texting. So that's a generation coming up that it just kind of depends. AI lead follow-up. We have tools in place, and this is what I recommend when somebody calls an instant text message, we missed your call, we'll call you back in 10 minutes, right? Just very small little message. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to do anything else other than just notify them that we got your call. We'll call you right back. Some people have turned that off. I know in Texas, it's difficult now. You really can't do that unless they've opted in to get a call. So we just have to kind of be careful about that. I do recommend two-way texting in terms of follow-up sequences. So if somebody does fill out a form, on the form, we're giving us approval to send a text message. So I recommend kind of utilizing as much as you can from automated follow-ups. Authentic video content. This is the big one. If you guys have anything on your plate for 2026, it's video. I want you all to spend time creating video. And I've tried to find the meme. I was going to import it in here, but y'all have seen the meme of the business owner that now has to become a content creator. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to be you per se, somebody that's comfortable with a camera, in front of a camera. I don't care what it is, but I recommend spending time doing video. And video, we'll talk more into that, but video, just how-tos, introducing the team, just becoming the answer to your clients' problems. What can we do to help them feel more comfortable working with you? All right, let's talk about some planning and goals. Where is it that we need to, where do we want to be at the end of this journey of December and this time next year, December 2026? Where do we want to be? The first question is, how many leads do you need to get every month? Total leads, everything. And then how many of those do they need to become booked moves? So what is that? What are those two numbers? And that's going to help kind of backtrack onto what kind of marketing we need to do. How much money do we have to spend? Because remember, we've got this tool here. And if we go back into the first one here, the lead generation, you're going to answer those questions. What's your average ticket value? That depends. Well, if I'm trying to reach $1 million, that's an average $83,000 monthly revenue. I need 69 jobs to reach that. If that is my average, of course, you might have, $510,000 jobs if you do national. That means 2 average daily jobs. What is your average conversion? So back to here, what is your conversion rate? Is it 20%, 50%? If you're doing referrals and you've got a really good referral network, that's probably higher, 70 to 90% conversions. But if you're doing paid ads, local SEO, you're going to have a lower conversion rate because you're just getting more people that don't know you as well as somebody that came in from a referral. So this really important numbers to get. And so, like I said, spend some time on here, figure out what your numbers are. If we do a 35%, that means I need 200 leads on average per month to reach my goal, because I only convert 35%. So now we got a lever. If we see we've got a 35%, that's okay. But what if we got to 45%? No more money, same amount of people coming through, but we're going to convert 45%. That's better. So what are the things that I need to do to improve that process? Is it sales? Is it follow-up? I don't know. Those are things we got to ask. You got to ask yourself. All right. Now, another one. I think this is already done. We don't have to do this. Sorry. Back again. Come over here. Get your planner. Snapshot. Ask yourself again, what is your average monthly? How many projects do you need to run per month? What's your average ticket, average conversion? All this, plug it into that spreadsheet. And let's see, what am I going to, yeah. So we can see let's just say we've got a $5 million. Typical number of projects per month is 50. Average tickets, 1,500. Average conversion, 30%. 5 full-time, 3 trucks, 5 staff. Where are we trying to build out? Are we trying to now for 2026? I want to get 7 full-time. I need another truck. Where are we and where do we need to be? This was a tool I just put together. And again, all honesty, I used a tool called Lovable, which if you haven't checked it out yet, pretty nifty little AI tool. I just told it, I gave it my spreadsheet. I told it what I wanted to do and it pumped this out. It's super cool. So anyway, kind of the same concept, not quite as intense or individual, go into the individual pieces, But if we do have that $1 million and I want a 8% marketing budget, it adjusts here. And now I can adjust what my allocation is. So how much do I want to spend on paid ads, SEO, my website, seasonal testing, referral, repeat business, referral. If you're going to spend time going to BNI, join chambers, that's where are you going to spend your money? People ask me, how much money should I be spending? Well, it just depends. Are you getting really good leads from your referral network? Put some money into that, but it's the entire budget. It's not what you're going to pay a marketing person $80,000 a year. That's your entire budget. If you're going to do direct mail, if you're going to spend money on joining networking groups, it's that whole thing. All right, moving on. So let's talk about a marketing strategy. Where do you need to focus yourself the most? This was digital marketing. So I'm not going into a whole lot at this stage for direct mail, billboards, flyers, door hangers. We'll talk about that in the end, just because I have some ideas that might be helpful and things that might, a little bit outside the normal process that most movers do. So this is kind of everything you think about when we think with digital marketing, at least for me. We've got one side is organic page search and your database. Your database is your email list. It's all the people that you've worked with. You should have an entire database of everybody, name, emails, phone number, because you want to retarget them. You want to go back. That's a database that you own. Nobody can take that away from you. You did good work with them. How are you going to utilize your own personal database? Then on the right side, we've got maximizing conversion. So driving the leads, and now we got them. Now what? We got to convert them. We got a website. We've got to build on your reputation. We've got to have some automation. That's the maximize conversions. Then we have optimized results at the bottom, 1, 2, and then the final return on your investment. What are you tracking? How many phone calls did you get? How many converted from those phone calls? How many forms? How many referrals? How many did you make money from that? Those pieces of the marketing puzzle. Average cost per lead and your total spend. So those are 3 KPIs you should be tracking across the board. And this just goes into a little bit more detail, each one of those, and I'm not going to repeat it again. So, omnipresence. This is a biggie. This is what I try and get everybody to understand. And what I try and do with my business, with my clients, is omnipresence. I need you everywhere. And I mean everywhere, everywhere. I need your branded truck. I need your signs, offline, online. I need you on Facebook regularly, LinkedIn. I need you on Instagram. I need your website to be full and complete, and I need it to be a converting tool. I need you reviews. I need you on Google Maps. I need you. Notice that when I Google moving companies in Cyprus, this person showed up with a paid ad, the map, and then they were number 1 on the search results. So if I can get those 3, that's like the golden ticket, because bam, 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 bam. Once I have the eyeball, now I need to get you over to the site. That's the second hard thing to do. It's once they're there, and now what? And we find that tends to be the disconnect. I paid all this money. They came to my site. Nothing happened. Well, let's look at that. Is it the site? Was it the ad? We don't know. So sometimes it's the website. It's not converting well. So do you have a strong foundation? Ask yourself, how's your website looking? How's your organic? How's your map? Do you have a complete map? Your Google map? Have you put your logo in? Have you answered questions? Have you posted your latest coupon, maybe your discount? If you book by Saturday, we'll give you 10% off because it's the Christmas season, right? We're trying to drum up some business. What is your review strategy? Are you hoping that they leave you a review and you send them an email with the link? Maybe not. Probably, if you are, that's not enough. We're trying to get to over 100 reviews is a goal. You need more than just asking somebody. You got to almost be a little annoying about it. Social media. If I go to your social media and your Facebook is dark and it hasn't been touched in 2 years, looks a little weird. Are we still in business? I don't know. Online directories is a big deal, especially when we talk about AI later. Paid lead services, Google local service ads, paid ads. Direct mail options. One of my favorite is direct mail. I think that's still very viable if you can get a good list of people that have put their homes up for sale and compound it by 1 or 2 letters, maybe a postcard or 2 in between. Retargeting is huge. And that means if somebody's been to your site, they start seeing your ads everywhere. That can do with Google Ads and Facebook. Definitely Facebook ads is one we're checking on. I've just hired a Facebook ad manager looking into what we can do for you in that. And as well as offline networking. Please don't forget to go out of your house, your office, go meet people, please. You've got to get out of the house. You've got to get out of the office. If you are the president and the owner, it is up to you to go say hi, shake hands, and introduce yourself. Go to all the realty offices, go to all the realty lunches, go to the apartment complexes, physically walk in there and give them their folder of your company. It's about visibility nowadays. We can't just rely on the internet. I mean, here I am, a digital marketer, and I'm telling you right now, you cannot rely solely on the internet. You've got to get outside the office. I go out. I'm very, very active in my local chamber. I do regular meetings and presentations with them. I enjoy it. I don't look at it as a way of getting business. It's just my way of giving back. But everybody in my area knows who I am. This is full blown maximizing the conversions from these leads. Oh, I mean, there's just so much. And it's a lot. I agree. So pick something that you think would do well. If you're doing any SEO, you're going to have to spend time building on your, what we call the NAP, your name, address, and phone need to be consistent everywhere. It needs to have some on page. Your website needs to be optimized properly. And from a technical side, as well as content, rewards programs, reviews, multimedia, podcasts. I'm going to have folks like yourself on my podcast. I'm going to send out a link with you guys if you'd love to have conversation with you and just part of my idea is interview you, and I want to give back to you. So I want to give you the podcast. I will split it up, and you can use it for your own social media. We'll break it out so it's not me in there. It's just you introducing your business. But podcasts, webinars, live video, I think is great. There is a guy on YouTube. I love him. He's just a dude. He just talks about his experience as a mover. And, you know, when he's buying a truck, what's he looking for? It's just really interesting. I'll see if I can find him later. Pay per lead, that's Google local service ads. Repeat and referrals. I think that's one thing people miss is, especially apartments. I never understand this. You know, usually 1 year, 2 year leases. I would, on the anniversary of that person you just moved in, you should send out an email 1 year later and capture those people that you moved from the prior year and have these conversations again. You don't know. You have that database, take advantage of it. Paid online directories. Paid online directories is part of your AI now. It's a look, just be clear. AI search is still local search. It's still local SEO. We're just spending a little bit more time on some other sites to get directories and reviews on them. Google. All right, enough on that. This one, and so rate yourself. Rate yourself on how you are in these bigger areas. Your sales program, how are you doing with multimedia? Give yourself a green, yellow, red, and think of that for 2026. What are the areas that you might need to spend a little bit more time on? Adjust the lever. Maybe you need more multimedia. Maybe I need to spend more time managing my own database. I need more reviews. What does that look like? Give yourself that. And that's in that annual workbook. So the workbook does have sections in there. So if I go down here, it'll load up. No, we're not gonna load. Yeah. Let's see, we're doing up here. Fill it out here. Ah, there we go. Okay, so action items. After each section, and you're gonna evaluate your website, basics in order. Is your phone number in the top right? Basics, foundational. So are there things in there that you need to do for 2026? Either give it to your current developer, your marketing person, and say, these are the 3 action items that I need to get done of because we have room for improvement. So go through that, give yourself a rating on each one and see what we need to change on. All right, now, do you guys have any questions? I mean, feel free. I'm looking at the chat. I haven't seen anything yet. Are we good? Anything that you're noticing I'm forgetting? You can unmute too. I'm cool with it. If you need to say something, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're touching on everything that's really helping me. So I have no questions right now. I'm just soaking in everything.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, ask anything.
Gotcha.
If I didn't explain something or I confused you,
Oh yeah.
wouldn't be new. Yeah, right. All right. Now this is another one. This is a shorter version. This is just the checklist. This is purely this one you can just print out and have next to you and make sure that everything you're doing, you're doing all these things to a degree. And all right, let's talk about your website. This is, of course, when somebody asks me to help them, first thing I do is I look at their website. And that's part of our maximizing our conversions. That tends to be the stopgap where people aren't converting. Why? What's happening with the site? Just knowing that your website is your business hub and all things go back to your website. And this is where you should spend time building out your team, your photos, your content, what makes you different. Again, I don't like being all about the price. So what is it that you're different on? Are you a concierge? So you go from point A to point B and we take care of the whole thing for you? Or we have 5-star ratings, we have no claims, we are really careful. Maybe you specialize in multi-million-dollar homes, whatever that is. What is the thing that makes you different? So one thing that we always look at is at a website, or how many leads have come through and how many paid ad leads came through and how many were actually qualified leads. And we have ways of tracking that on a website. So when you come, I'm going to ask you these questions. How many leads coming from your website? Most people say they don't know. I don't know how many leads. Even if they have a marketing agency, they might get a report of how many traffic they got. We don't know how many leads. So that's a really fundamental question of how many leads can you attribute to your website? Legit. So ask yourself, and then qualified leads is the other side. So if I send you 100 leads and 20 are qualified, that's not so great. We try and get it to the 40-50%. I'm always going to get the guy that wants the sofa to go up one flight. Okay. Is that a qualified lead? It depends. Some are like, I'll take anything. We're good. Some of them are like, nope, we only do this level. So it just depends on what you guys consider a lead. Now, how do we optimize for that conversion? That's for us that's our job. When we build you a website, I'm always looking at, is this going to help this person get to the next step and convert? That's what I need to know. First thing is there a phone number? So is there a phone number? Is it very clear that I want you to fill out a form or call? So we have these, they're always bright, they're always big, they're a little animated. Request quote, we put that right up front. I don't want people to hide. I want that quite visible. And even on mobile, we'll do the very same thing. So other things in here, and you'll notice this particular one, I prefer real photos. I don't like stock. But if you're brand new, it's kind of hard to take photos. But either way, what we tell people is we'll do what we can with the stock photos. You can see this is a stock, it's obvious, but we were able to superimpose the logo. So it's over time. And if you're a client of ours, we are going to be on you about sending us more photos. And Javier's here. Javier is our project manager. Say hi. He will be relentless. We need more photos. Where are your photos? And I need photos of people in uniform, hats, t-shirts. I need the truck. I need all the things branded, because we're in a world now, we don't know what's real, what's true, what's authentic, what's transparent. The best way to do this, if I have real photos that are not polished, they're just guys. There's one cardinal moving, and I love it. He's got some silly photos of the guys are on the truck, on the top of the truck, and they're just waving and they're having fun. They're a good team. They look like they're a good team. Those are the photos you need to start grabbing. Always be thinking, can I take a photo today? I would even say train your team to take photos as well. So photos, I want to make sure that we're clear on what it is that you do. So I need individual pages for every service. I need I need about you as well. I can't have an about us page saying the year you started, how great you are. We've done this for whatever the typical about. I need more about who your company is, your history, the team, why you do what you do, what makes you different, your mission, your values. Those things go on your website. On the About Us page, people say people don't go to, they go to your About Us page. I promise you. The other is bringing up your video. We try to get a video on the homepage. Does it have to be polished and kind of commercial, TV commercial style? I would say do one. Have a professionally done, highly stylized, really nice video. Doesn't have to be now. If you're just starting out, don't spend money on that. That could be later on. But the homepage, I would say some type of video. After that, your iPhone is just fine. People want real, flawed, right? Dirt, sweaty, you worked hard, you know, it was complicated. And look at the truck. It's beautifully put together. Look how organized it is. Look how we packed. It's a thing of beauty, right? We want to show that to people. And you can't do that with stock photos. So you just have to be thinking about it constantly. And again, everybody should be wearing the same branded shirt. Even if they're contractors and they're not quite employees, they should always be wearing it, always. Embed your video, embed your reviews. So that would be, you can see on this one, we've got 5 out of 5 stars. They're accredited, and that's an authority, a trust factor that we have to kind of make sure people see quickly. We've got, then absolutely, I like embedding the videos from Google just because some of you guys get, 3 a week. And I don't want to spend time having to add those so this is dynamically added. Every time somebody leaves a review, it gets automatically added. I just like those types of tools, but I'm going to continue saying this: reviews. It is your number one method of authority and trust. AI also looks at these reviews, not just Google. It goes to Trustpilot, it goes to Angie. And so if you're on BBB and you've got a bad review, work really hard to build up those reviews to higher, to better 5-star or 4-star reviews too. If you get the 1 star, don't be afraid of it. It is what it is. Just respond very professionally and just answer them all. But answer every review. I'll say that. There's a whole section on here. We'll talk about more. Wicked clear. Get a quote now. Call now. That's converting. If I have to find how to reach you, we got a problem. Chat, some people want to add chat, but when they put chat 2 months later, take chat off. If you're going to have chat, you need someone there answering the questions. Like someone needs to be at their desk answering chat questions. You can't be hopefully on your phone answering. It doesn't work. And I've heard people just have tried it. It doesn't work. If you've got a receptionist or an office manager, maybe they could be there. There are tools to have an AI inserted, but I don't know about you guys, I've not seen it work perfectly. We do have phone AI. I'll talk to you about that as well, but the chat AI, I don't know. I don't know about if you guys think about this. I don't know if you guys think that putting chat on there, I just find that if I put AI with chat, I don't get the answers that I want. It's just more frustrating than anything else, especially because you know what they're going to do. How much does it cost to move my 2-bedroom house? And if you don't have that particular question in your AI bot, it's just going to confuse them. So it depends. You can build it out, but just be careful. Website mobile friendly. Again, we all know that most people go to a mobile website first. It's usually about 65% of mobile users. So always make sure your website on mobile looks good. We always put this button at the bottom. It's always there. As you scroll, that button stays there. Call for a free estimate, call for a free estimate, just constant. So we do see that helps with conversions. That is a plugin. If you want to know, honestly, there is a plugin. I think it's called Call to Action. It's WordPress. I think is what it is. It's a plugin for Call to Action footer or something. I forget the name of it. Go for it. It's so easy to install. You can change the colors. You can give it whatever. If it's a link, if it's a phone number, you can do that. Really easy to do. But I do want to highlight the fact that If your mobile site is not optimized for conversions, it can really, really impact your lead generation. For example, this is one website we took on the beginning. They had, I mean, look at this, 3,000, was it almost 1.5 times more visitors came to mobile. But look at the conversions, only 5, because his website was not mobile friendly. So he's getting so much traffic to the mobile site, it wasn't converting. Desktop was, mobile wasn't. So it's just a lost opportunity there. And this just comes from the checklist that I gave you earlier. It's literally just a screenshot. So all those things that I'm telling you right now is all in that checklist. All right, now let's talk about local SEO, organic SEO. So first thing first is, does it even matter anymore? We got AI. Everyone's getting answers from AI. Does it matter? Yeah, it still matters. Still, we're getting, I wouldn't say 90%. I would say 70 to 80% of our clicks come from maps and organic. And then that 67% go to the top 3 of those listings. So this one here and these 2 tend to be the ones that they click through. So getting in that top 3 still doesn't answer the question, because you still got, now we're seeing sponsored ads. 3 for your Google business, the pay per leads, the Google business, and then the map, a sponsored, and then the map, and another sponsored, knowledge base, and then the organic. So even if I do get you on organic, depending on the complexity or the number of competition, it's going to change that search result page. And it just sometimes gets harder and harder and harder. And now with AI, we've got the AI overview that gives you another set of answers that people go to. All right. This is not a complete list, but pretty thorough. I think the first and foremost people forget is I need a page for every service. I need an apartment move, commercial move, office move, labor only. I need individual pages for every service that you do. Concierge move, piano move, safe move, whatever, shed move. I need a page for that. Packing only, storage, you name it. Those are individual pages. Then I need pages of the locations that you're in. I'm in Houston, so we got a lot of Houston movers that will go to Dallas and Austin, San Antonio. They're only about 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. Dallas is about 4.5. So they're willing to do that. So we build out landing pages for those specific locations. Then we go granular. Houston now has Sugar Land, Katy. They're all in that area. We build out more of those. And then we go even further granular and we go into communities. Now, it doesn't happen all at once. This is part of the campaign. We just keep building out more and more content to the site, and we just keep building. Optimize your titles. It's one thing to show up on the search results in the top. It's another thing to get them to click your result. And that's that click-through rate. So if you go to your analytics, there's a section in there, click-through rate, and it's usually 1 to 2% is pretty normal. And if you see anything above that, that means you got a really good title and people like it and they're going to it. So check that. But H1s, you only need one H1. H1 is the title of your page. Let me just go to live site here real quick. Alpine Moving in Colorado. So this is a H1 right here. Colorado's top moving company. That's an H1. And there's only one of those on every single page. If we go to residential moving, it should say 1H1 residential moving. And then we've got, we organize the page with H2 titles, text, H3, real photos, reviews, what makes us different, why choose us, real photos, real video, right? So we have all of this. And then we have, now we've got unique content for every page. Then we've got to claim and optimize our map. So when we take on, I've got to get access to your Google map. I got to marry these two together. I need to import the map on your site. The address needs to be exactly the same as your map. We work with Bright Local and other citation management to get the exact address, has to be exact. So if you've got a suite number in your address and it's suite number 457, right? Now, if I go to others and it just says number 457, no suite, we got to correct that. What's the correct one? What's on Google, whatever's on Google, just take that. Because if you change what's on Google, you're probably going to have to reauthorize the map itself. If you've gone through it recently, it's a pain in the patooks. So just be careful if you change anything on your map. Add to major data aggregators. That's things like Yelp, Trustpilot, MoveHelp. There's other kind of moving directories out there. There's then, of course, Angie, if you can get in there. I can't remember. Do y'all know, does Angie make you pay to just be on it? Or I've worked with some that have used Angie for paid ads. They didn't work out very well, but I'm curious if you can just get a listing. Yeah, go Ace.
I believe they do make you pay for it.
They do?
Yeah, I've been with Angie for a couple years, and I'm like on their pro list, and I pay like every month. Because when I first got on there, I was paying like per lead, but now I'm on like the almost like a subscription type thing.
Okay. Is it reasonable priced?
So they just transformed. So I was paying about $1,000 a month, getting about probably about 40 leads from them. I think it's like $17 per lead or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just doubled because they went from $17 to $28 because they reprogrammed their whole app, and it's like it's a good app that they reprogram. But I mean, my conversions are not great.
Oh, is that, yeah. So you're getting the leads, but we're just struggling. Are they good quality leads? Are they the kind of leads you're like,
I mean, some are. A lot of a good bit of time, someone's calling me to see if they can rent a truck, or some clients are like repeat, like on there because they give you like a certain amount of leads on there. So some of them are like repeats and stuff like that, and some of them just don't pick up the phone at all. So I mean, I get a couple duds, but I mean, it pays for itself.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that sounds good. I've heard nightmares, and so I'm glad to hear they've made some adjustments. It sounds like.
Yeah, it pays for itself. It doesn't pay me that much, but it definitely pays for itself.
Maybe we talk about conversions, how we can get them to convert a little bit more. But I'll go through that. There's some ideas in here. Maybe it might help you.
Okay.
Put your system in place for driving online reviews. That is a huge local SEO indicator. That's what Google's looking at, is your reviews. So if you don't have a system in place, and I mean an aggressive system, like I said earlier, I'm not saying, hey, leave us a review, and then like, here's the link. It's like 1, 2, 3 follow-up email, second follow-up email, third a phone call, blah, blah, blah. You're trying to get reviews. Add new citations on an ongoing basis. This is where I ask you guys to do local citations. So join the chamber so you can get a local chamber link back to your site. Sponsor nonprofits. So if you've got some, if there's like here, we've got the swim team. There's a few companies that sponsor the swim team. On the swim team site is a link. Can you hear that? Hold on 1 second. Just when the long guys show up. Awesome. But try and get local citations that mention where you're at. Again, Meals on Wheels, nonprofits in your area, they tend to link back to your site as a sponsor. I used to run the WordPress, the Houston WordPress. And when we had a word camp, we were getting phone calls from lawyers. We're going to sponsor your word camp. Like, what? Why? To get a link. That was all it was. They were going to spend $500, just put a link on our site back to them. So that's what you can do. Ongoing content, publish a new blog post and syndicate it. This is where people tend to miss this part. You need a blog post. It needs to be helpful information. It needs to be how-tos. If you're moving to Akron, Ohio, what are the steps? What's the local scene like? How do I move there? And how do I get information on the schools, the libraries, be that local resource. But once you have that post, share it on everywhere. Send an email, throw it on Facebook, Instagram. And here's the thing, don't do it once, do it multiple times. And I'm saying 20 times throughout the next year, if not more. You've got the content, take advantage of it. It's evergreen. You can share it over and over. It's not anything about a seasonality. The goal is visibility, because people, if you do it at 9 a.m. on Facebook or Instagram, whoop, it's gone. No one saw it. So if you we post it again 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It just gets the visibility. And the more people I see that, click it, go to your site. Instagram's a little different, but Facebook, YouTube, X, you name it. Get that content out and syndicate, get it out multiple times. What we're looking for is expertise, authority, and trust. That's what Google wants to see. That's how it's looking at you in terms of, are you enough to be on the first page? Who's talking about you? So we spend a lot of time, a lot of money. It's expensive to get bigger companies with more traffic to link back to you. So there's a lot of research involved in that. So does SEO matters? Absolutely. I think you can start off with paid ads, but it can't be your sole source, because once you turn off paid ads, it just stops. So we need to have an SEO strategy so that if you turn that off, it keeps going. Now let's talk a little bit about AI and SEO. There's Answer, AEO, and GEO. So AEO, Answer Engine Optimization, is when you're getting the answer of your question within the source, AI, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever that is. You're getting the answer. There might be a little bit of a link to where it got the answer from, but that's one method. And how are you going to show up here? Then there is generative engine optimization. This is where I'm looking for a good local mover near me. And how are you going to show up in that perspective? If I'm looking for a local mover near me and I'm in ChatGPT, it'll give me a few answers. Well, this is what is the cheapest way to pack? This is more of an answer one, packing theory. It's answering the questions for you. It's getting this data from what other people have posted. So how is it going to answer? Is it going to give you a link back to your site? Most important, though, I think, is the generative. So this is where we ask, I'm looking for a good local mover. It gave me this list. What I always do, and I recommend you guys do this in your own location. I'm looking for a good local mover in Akron, Ohio, Palo Alto, wherever. And it's going to give you this big list. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to ask it, why didn't you choose XYZ company? It's going to be honest and tell you. For example, we did that for somebody. What's good? It gave us a list: licensed, bonded, insured. So those are things that AI is attributing to whether or not you're going to show up when people look for local movers. Licensed, bonded, positive experience on review aggregator sites. Large share of reviews were positive. For many moves, the price seemed to be fair and competitive. So it's scoured the internet for reviews about your business. It's collated it, and it's giving its impression of what other people are saying about you. What people report back that could be drawbacks, reasons to double check. 20% of the reviewers report problems, rather high, including damage to items, scratches. So that's either an operational problem that needs to be addressed. That could be a signal that something needs to be fixed there. Or we need to drive more 5-star reviews that talk about the reporting itself, and drive more people that talk about what a great value it is, no damage. Hard to get a hold of. That's one thing people talked about, was hard to get a hold of that person. So are you answering the phone within 3 rings? What's that policy look like? And it's not. So here's one: the company is not accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Apparently that's a thing that AI is wanting to see. Now, double check, AI's got a tendency to lie. So just double check that what it's saying is accurate. But this has already told me why it wasn't included in my first list of local movers. So I recommend, just as you Google your own company, Google who's the best in your area on AI and see what it says. This one, some more data in here. Google search, millions, 8 to 12 million, still the dominant. ChatGPT, 450 to 900,000 queries. How much do movers cost? Best moving companies in Dallas. What size moving truck do I need? And they're testing that question. Perplexity has a lot of fact-based cited answers. Bing, Chat, Google, they all have their own kind of what makes them different. So again, looks like ChatGPT is the next level. Perplexity, Bing. Gemini apparently wasn't fully rolled out. It was just strange because I'm switching to Gemini lately. I've been using it a lot more. All right. it doesn't matter. It's still local SEO. Please don't fall for folks that are trying to sell you AI SEO. It's not a thing. It's purely local SEO. It's still authority building. It's still trust. It's still backlinks. It's the same concept. We're just having to structure a little bit more and look at reviews and look where you're getting links from, double check. So it's still local SEO. That hasn't changed. Google is still king. But its geo-driven platforms are catching up fast, especially with frequently asked questions, educational questions, comparison-based queries. Those are all happening in the AI, and they're bypassing traditional search. So we would Google, how do I pack my stereo? Would be a Google search. Now they're doing that in AI. This means you need to show up in both places. And again, this is that same checklist, which you can get from the booklet. We're still doing EAT, experience, expertise, authority, trust. That's still something you have to constantly think about when you're marketing your business online. How am I building my experience? How am I building expertise? How am I building authority? And trust videos, photos, authority, who's linking to you? Have you done any speaking engagement? Have you done a podcast? Who's talking about you? Yext, optimize your maps, claim your map. Let's see, did your brand website come up in search? That's the first thing I do. I Google your company name. There's a lot of you that have very similar company names. And what happens if I Google, and sorry, I'm going to do you. Let's see if I do. So Alpine, if I do Alpine, oops. Now, yay, yours came up first. Could be because I'm managing your site and I go to your site all the time. So, but what I want is everything Alpine to show. We got one guy here, Alpine Moving and Storage. I don't quite know where this person is, but this is what I mean by what is your brand? How are you showing up with your brand? What's that look like? So ask yourself, what kind of changes do I need to make so that I'm the one, when I search your company, you're the one that shows up and not the three other companies with a similar name. We can usually kind of beat that because most of these other companies don't think about authority and building that. So typically that's what you see is if I Google Alpine shows up. I'm not going to go through everything on here. That checklist is in there, properly optimized. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. But one thing I will say is when you have a landing page for a search, make sure it's one word. So if it's office movers, then you want office moving, office movers on the page. Don't spam it, just natural, but make sure it's one concept, one key phrase that you're going to work on and build on that. If you do any blogs and it's about, let's say you got apartment moving, if you do a blog about apartment moving, I want the apartment moving blog to show up on the apartment moving page because it shows that the site's being updated, there's activity. And Google does know this. With Google Analytics, it's knowing who's coming to your site. Are they sticking around? Are they bouncing away? Are they converting? Google knows this. And they're going to increase the ranking if they see people on the site doing things. So that's why we have lots of pages, lots of things to do, watching a video, clicking this, fill out the form. I need people to do those things. That helps Google look, oh, people are sticking around. They like the site. All right, let's give it some authority. So we're building on that. Again, more off, it's just same thing that I just talked about, what page for each location. So I'm going to kind of go through this because let's see here. Google Maps. One thing about Google Maps, it's still a part of the organic. Are you ranking on the Google Maps? Ask yourself, where are you on Google Maps? And just quite honestly, if you are only doing service areas, you don't show your address, you probably are not going to rank. It's just the way it is. Now, that doesn't mean it's not helpful because you're going to have reviews and I'm going to Google your name and you're going to show up and you're going to see your map and I'm going to look at it. But if you're trying to get leads from the map, if you don't have a physical address, you will not show. And that's been proven. Sky something SEO, really good company, lots of research. Just 2 weeks ago, they hit a research about that very thing. They proved it. But if you have a home office that you're running out of, you can't, it's against Google's terms to show your address if you don't accept people to come to you physically. So if you want to be shown and get leads from the map, you're going to need a physical address, and you can't fake it, because if anyone has been through this before, it's very complicated. You have to prove that you're physically at this location by a video, pictures of signs. You're going to video of you unlocking your door with the sign on your door. You're going to walk through it. You're going to show, utility bills. They're going to want to see all this. I just went through this yesterday with a construction company up in Ohio. He's been through this. It's insane. His name is everywhere, but they still keep asking for more. It's a real pain, but it's a necessary one if you want to show up. Now, basic step here, claim it, minimum, claim it, own it, put your photos on there, get your categories right. Sorry, Alpine, I'm going to show you again here. Here. So if you've got your address, you want to put some context of where you're at. We want reviews. I want photos galore, photos, because, and this whole misnomer of geotagging, it doesn't really work, doesn't really do a whole lot anymore, but that doesn't mean that you don't take photos and upload them. Just be consistent about it. You're going to want FAQs, you're going to answer questions, you're going to post things, and you just want to make this a really complete account. So optimize it. Then you back to what I was saying about local SEO. All the directories have to have that same address, the same phone number. So just be real careful. How many online reviews do you have? Look at your competitors. Some have 20, some have 500. Where do you need to be? Do you have a proactive strategy for getting those reviews? So moving on here, do Google Maps matter? Yes. Just on our attribution, when I can see people coming through, it is a lot comes from the Google Maps, a lot. And so just be careful that if you think you're going to get reviews, or if you think you're going to get leads from the map, just make sure that you show your address, but it will have an impact. We have, I'm sure we do here. So when I click this, and I'll show you what it looks like on the top, you'll see here, there's a UTM source. So whenever I look at analytics, I know that person came from the Google Business Profile, the map. That's how I know what's working, what's not working. And that way I can track it. So if you haven't done that, I'll show you what just UTM on your website. Just add that little UTM on there. Let me show you one more time. Add this little UTM source, just put that in there. And when you go to analytics, you can see that. And that helps you kind of get some answers on that. All right, let's go on to more on here, maps. Nope. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much detail. This is kind of when the reports sometimes that we have where your map is showing, depending on different grid points of a map, how that's looking. So we always want to see improvements. And we're at Google's mercy. There's been times where we got all green, and then 2 weeks later, it's half red. What just happened? Some algorithm. All right. I lost some people. It's a long webinar. I'm sorry. There's a lot to go through. It's a big year. It's going to be a long year. We're going to do this. All right, let's talk about some paid ads. I believe if you're starting out, you kind of have to do this. We've got one client, they just started their business over the summer. Their SEO is doing really, really well, but the SEO gets you partly there. Paid ads will kind of bump you up a little bit more, and because they're more instant and we have more control over the ads and the landing pages. But two types: Google local service ads. People tend to have problems with that one. We'll talk about that, and paid ads. So AdWords, Angie's, Yelp, Moving.com, Moving Leads, Equate, Quote Runner, all of those are paid online tools. I've worked with Equate and Quote Runner. You can get a tons of leads from both of these, and you'll pay an arm and a leg. My experience, though, when we did the numbers, only 5% were actually qualified. 100 leads they got 5% qualified. That doesn't mean they booked them. Super low conversion rates. So you'll get a lot of leads. It'll feel great, but you're not going to convert as many, and you're not going to get as many qualified leads. What they do is they'll send it to you, and that person's already talked to 10 people by the time you talk to them. So it's just I prefer a marketing plan that you own the leads, that you did the work and you got the lead. They know who you are first before they reached out to 10 other people because they got 10 emails. I've done it, tested it, filled it out. I got, I don't know, 20 emails within about 5 minutes. It was a little overwhelming. So I can see why it doesn't quite convert as well. But if you've got the team, maybe so. Buying leads. How much time are you spending on calls and estimates and bad leads? So if you 224 leads a month, we've got 5% conversion. We've got 11 booked jobs, 1,500 average move. You know, where do you start the conversation with value? Do you start the conversation with value or price? So that's where we kind of have to look at how is this converting? 5% is really low. And if you've got 224 leads, you only booked 11, that's a little tough. And how much did you spend to get those 224? So, you know, set up, and we do pay-per-click, just some advice when you build out a Google Ads campaign, try not to use the Google Ad wizard, the easy step-by-step, because it just, you will waste a lot of money. It's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. Set up only one ad group for all the services. So if you're going to do residential, if you're going to do apartment, have one ad group for residential, and it sends you to the residential landing page, not your website, not your homepage, not your contact us page. The residential. Apartments, apartment page, apartment ads, apartment coupons, discounts, apartment for that apartment ad. And we keep that all the way consistent throughout the whole ad process. No strong failures. They don't have a strong call to action. We always recommend adding all the little extras, estimate requests, what makes us different, frequently asked questions, those types of things as part of the whole ad. They don't take advantage of the add-ons and extensions. They're not excluding terms like U-Haul, pod, shed. You know, if you don't move, what is it? The standing, what is it? When you get in hot tubs, moving hot tubs, then we need to exclude those. And people, one, not managing regularly, adding display and retargeting. They're not adding retargeting. So you spent money to go to your site. Maybe you spent a minute and they left, but that was a lot of money to get in there. So what we do is we engage in the retargeting. So your ads get seen wherever they're at. They might be on the local news site and they're at your ad shows. They might be on some other site and your ad shows. So it's just this recall, remember, and that's what we're going to do with Facebook ads is have a retargeting on Facebook so that they see your ads on Facebook. All right. There's an idea that I had in here. Now I forgot. It'll come to me. So call out extensions, request a quote, look at our reviews, all of our moving services. So these are just little things people tend not to include in their paid ad management. There's little extensions in there. And the more you can, not more, but the more conversion friendly type extensions, the better. Definitely image extensions. It just gives more visibility to it. Retargeting and display. So these are just all the different ads that get shown and we target. So that some of these are just graphics and some of these are showing up on other sites, banners. And this is a little too complex. I'm not even going to show this to you guys. It's too much. Local service ads. This is an area that people, even though it's really hard to set up because you have to have the insurance, you have to have a lot of the qualifications before you can show. That's why they call it guaranteed. If you go here, you can, how much should you spend? I'm going to throw this in the chat. If you go to this website, it'll give you, and scroll down a little bit, it'll give you how much you should spend to calculating your budget on Google local service ads. So I'm at 77479. Let's see, I need 300 leads per month. I believe there is a mover. Yep. And I'm gonna estimate my budget. So they're recommending $10,000 to $15,000 in my area. Now I'm Houston, lots of competition. That's why it's probably a little more expensive. I've seen them go 3,000, 8,000. But just put your zip code in so you get a sense of where you are to get your numbers. Now, the next is when you do set it up, you've been approved. I would turn off, if you don't do out of state moving, you need to turn things off that doesn't apply to you. First thing though is turn off other, because that just opens up a can of worms. You'll get the SOPA down a flight of stairs and you'll get someone with a shed. That tends to happen too. A lot of little things. If you don't do oversized items, if you're not going to move a piano, then check that off. Vehicle transport, turn that off if you don't do that. Junk removal, check things off. In addition, what we've done too is we check them all off except local moves. And that way we're not spreading thin the budget. So sometimes we just check them all off and we just want local move. That tends to help. Reviews. When you do reviews, if you get reviews through the local service ads, it weighs heavier than a regular Google review. And it helps build your authority within the Google local service ads. So they're looking for those reviews, just like Angie's and Yelp and all that. They're taking those reviews and they're applying that, whether you're going to show, and the audit. They're auditing everybody. How much should you pay? What's the auction? Are you going to show up in those top 3? Reviews is one of those tools. So your budget as well and your location. One error, we found one guy had his location within an area in Northern California, but then we looked and there were spots like in the ocean, like somebody had added a section in the on the bay, not even a place. It was like nobody obviously lived there. So just check that you have the right setup. I think go by zip codes, put your zip codes in, or you could do it by distance. So in Palo Alto, you've got the big, it's not a lake, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it's kind of split by this ocean. So you got Palo Alto and then you got the other side. So if you do Palo Alto and 10-mile radius, you're including this water here. So we ended up just doing zip codes, as all the zip codes this way, and on the east side zip codes. But you can do it by distance and location. If you have a small budget, have a small location. If you've got $1,000 for a paid ad, Google paid ads, Google local service ads, you can't spread yourself too thin. You've got to have a very pinpointed location and service. Otherwise, you're just going to get nonsense and you'll get really frustrated. All right. Again, same list on the checklist. I'm not going to go through all that. All right. Reputation management. I'm probably going to fly through this because I feel like I've been saying this over and over. But one of these is reputation management. That includes social media. Have you got some engagement going on? Are you sharing the team? Are you getting the word out there? And are you building some trust with your audience with these kinds of photos? So this is going to build your reputation. 54% of consumers use social media, research projects, services before making a purchase. This is from Hootsuite. Local business Facebook posts reach an average of 2.7 more local customers than other platforms. 76% of consumers have contacted a local business through social media. So you can't discount it. You need to be active on it and you need to be answering. I'm not saying you're going to be some influencer. I'm not saying you're going to go viral. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for visibility, trust, authority building. Think of all those things when you put something on your website. Real people doing real work, real moves. Those are wonderful. Another checklist. I would own all your social media platforms, even if you're not active on them. So get your X account, TikTok, Instagram, just own it. Own the brand, own your name, collect them all. Doesn't mean you have to post on all of them, just own it. But be very engaged on at least one of them. I'm seeing Instagram tends to be the one. If you're good with video, do YouTube shorts. TikTok for sure. I would just do shorts on YouTube, throw it up on TikTok if you want. But you can't forget it. I'm not saying, again, you don't have to post every day. They just need to see some activity. Don't only do holiday stuff, happy anniversary or happy Thanksgiving once a year. It doesn't cut it and you're wasting your time. So either do it or don't do it. Email marketing, back to that database. This is where we do at least once a month. But email marketing isn't just sending out a newsletter. It's not what I'm talking about. We do that, but it really is to get visibility and top of mind. What I will need here is a follow-up methodology in email. So if somebody has reached out to you, I need a series of emails so that, again, top of mind, if they see your email again. I've tested so many companies and I fill out the form, nothing happens. I don't even know if they got the form. So test it yourself. When you fill out your form, what happens? Does it go in the ether? Do I get a receipt that I at least know that you got it? All I need from you is we got your request at minimum. We got your request. We'll reply within 10 minutes or tomorrow, whatever. And we're going to answer any questions you might have. I would include some more data in there, but at minimum, at least acknowledge that I sent an email. What we like to do is have a whole funnel in place. So we do a checklist of what to prepare for your next move, what to expect on your next move, just purely informative, helpful information, top of mind. Local service businesses see 32% higher open rate than retail. Post-move follow-up emails generate 23% more referrals. Don't forget, if we all live on referrals, I live on referrals, and 23% more referrals if you send a friendly email after the close. Do you have any friends, any neighbors, apartment complexes, right? They see your stuff, send an email and give them, I don't know, $50, gift card, something like that. But just follow up with them. Don't just drop off. Don't just leave. Thank you for your business and then ask for a review. And that's the last thing you say to them. You need to have a system. You've spent a lot of money to get them as a customer. Utilize that database of customers, monthly email newsletters, leveraging email, online reviews. And again, just be relentless with the reviews. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Email marketing. All right, continuing on. Reputation. Again, part of that reputation. How are we looking? This is for Soldier Strong moving. We went from 4.7 to 4.9 because we just got really aggressive asking for reviews. Helped out a lot. It does help. The more reviews, the better you get on your search results for the map. Always ask for reviews. One thing we have our tool called Moving Up app. We connect it to your Google profile. When somebody leaves a review, we have the AI generate a post and it will share that 5-star review on Facebook, Instagram, X if you use it, wherever else you need to share it. But always be asking reviews. Always answer reviews, even if it's a 1-star. I don't care if it's 5 years old. Go back and answer it. Incorporate keywords in your answer. If someone says, for example, very professional moving company with a heart for helping people. Soldier Strong answered, Angela, that is a nice feedback we could receive. Thank you for allowing us to be services to your family. I would have changed that. Thank you for allowing our moving company in Lubbock, Texas, to service your family in Lubbock. Something along those lines. We're using the city and the location and the service. Google's reading this. They see all of it. So if we can get your client to do the same, depending, or we incorporate photos. Anybody that uploads a photo from a review, that's gold.
We have this thing.
All right. Always be checking all of them. Your BBB score, your Yelp. I know it's Yelp. It's Yelp. There's not much I can say about it. It's Yelp. It's there, but you need to be aware of it. If you've got some low scores, see if you can drive some people to it and bring it up again. They're super picky. I've seen really good reviews and they're hidden. I can't answer why they do that. They just do. So it's a beast that we all have to kind of face. This is a little bit outside direct mail. One thing we do for an automation type of thing is when somebody visits your site and I can get an address for them, we send out immediate postcards. So it's a retargeting effort, but direct mail, a little bit different. And again, I'm not just sending it to everybody. It's just anybody that's come to your website and I've given it parameters of what zip codes. So I'm not sending it to somebody, if I'm in Seattle, it's not going to somebody in Miami. It's only in the certain amount of zip codes that we've sent. So we can even sort it by income, range, proximity. But I do recommend some type of direct mail. And again, that's the retargeting direct mail, target your zip codes. Here's one, I shared this with Cardinal. This Finish. Oh, super close. I'm almost done. Look. I'm almost done. If you, Kirk, it's also going to be on YouTube. I'm going to, everything I'm doing, it's going on YouTube. You can come back and look at it if you have to go. I understand. It's a long webinar. This is something that I think needs to be done. You've got your moving truck. It's great. Hopefully you've wrapped it really brightly. There's 5 Ton Movers. Shout out to 5 Ton. He's in Austin. He swears by his door hangers. Now, my understanding, he's doing door hangers everywhere. I don't know how much he's spending. He's got some college kids. I think that it's going around. He says it does really well for him. So, hey, go for it. I think when you're out packing, I have somebody with a stack of them and just go in the area. And even if I drive by and I see a house for sale, I put my car, just stop, run up and put it on their door. I do like this concept of a tent, super visible. And I like this, especially in the Houston heat, even in the winter time. If I could have a place to stage some boxes that's protected from the weather at the same time, massive visibility. And I get it, we got the truck out, but this could be for the packers. It could be the unpacking process as well, the unloading, because you got to pull things out of the truck and stage it before it goes in the house. This would be a great way to protect your team. You can put some water in there, but just super visible. I don't see enough of these guys putting signs out front. Hey, we just moved this homeowner or whatever, something quirky and fun, a sign that goes right up front during the whole process. And then at the other end, hey, look at who we moved in. Which I don't see that enough. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. So take advantage of all this print material out there as much as you can. So automation is the other leverage. If you want to scale, you need the automation. And this automation helps a lot with unconverted leads. Somebody that's called, left a message, somebody that's emailed, filled out the form, and you can't get a hold of them. What we got to do is kind of re-engage with them, some automation. That again is the emails that we send out. Again, they fill out the form. They're going to get 3 or 4 emails from us on day 1, day 2, day 3. And in addition, the text messaging, I think in addition to the follow-up process after you've moved, continuing the relationship and engaging with that homeowner, apartment, office mover, having that relationship, building that with some automation, email automation, review requests. I would like it. And I know some of the tools like Smart Moving, MoveIQ, I don't think they have this. Smart Moving doesn't have it. I really want a system so that I want reminders with helpful advice. Like tomorrow is packing day. We'll be there, whatever time frame. Here's the things we recommend you be ready for us. So you could give them the advice and expectations of packing day. I've moved so many times, I know what to expect. There's a lot of people that have never moved in their life. They have no idea. So if we can kind of day before, 2 days before, give them, here's what to expect on packing day. It's best if you collect your jewelry, collect the clothes that you're going to wear for the next week, put that in a special box, write your name on it, put it away in your car, get some material, whatever it is, those things that help you as a moving company owner. What can you do to give that helpful advice? It builds a really great relationship with this person and they trust you more and you'll give a really better review. So guidelines up until the move, the day of the move, a text message, we're on our way. The day after we move, congratulations. We got you there. Let's schedule the unpacking. Here's what's going to happen during unpacking. Here's some recommended checklists to do while you're unpacking. Here's a list of the local resources, the school, the library, local grocery stores, and just give them this nice little packet. You just moved. Here's everything you need for where you live. Good luck. It's been our pleasure. Give us a really great review, and then 3 years from now, if they decide to move again, who do you think they're going to think of? Because you know what? You're going to have your big old red folder nearby somewhat. It's going to be really visible and they're going to remember you because you're going to continue to engage with them. You're going to still send out maybe an annual 365 days later. Hey, it's been a year. How's the move going? Or how's the house? Happy anniversary. That's all. So unconverted leads. Again, automation, lead flow problem, is it leads or is it conversions? we've got, again, just kind of goes back, percent booked, total leads, booked to qualified leads, right? How are we going to improve that conversion process? What are the things that we can do? Of qualified leads, only 10, here's the problem, of the qualified leads, only 10% booked. So what can we do to get 10% up to 15, 20, 30%? But we need to know this number. How are you tracking this? Where is your spreadsheet that says, literally, I got 10% booked. When am I going to get to 15%, 20% booked? Here's one thing too. I know Cardinal Movers, I talked to him. He has a policy, no matter what, you answer the call within 3 rings. Leads that are not followed up with within 15 minutes, they go cold. On average, only 2% of sales are made during the first point of contact. That means if you don't follow up, even with a simple follow-up email, you're missing out on about 98% of your sales. Always have a follow-up system. Today's consumers prefer to interact via text message or versus a phone call. So be ready to have that capability. Our tool, Moving Up, has that texting capability. You can go to that person and send out text messages along with some automation. Lots of great tools there. Leverage marketing automation to follow up with web forms. I talked about first 2 minutes of submission. You want a text message if you can, emails, automate the follow-up so that every prospect is touched at least 5 times. One thing that's changed since I started this business 20 plus years ago, used to be 7 touches. It's now 12 to 15 touches before somebody actually makes the decision to contact you. Lots of time, lots of money just to get somebody's eyeball. And I'm sure you all feel it. We're inundated with so much. And how can you stand above the crowd and what everyone else is doing? How can you stand out so that I choose you? And that's through all the things that we've been talking about, automating the follow-ups, engaging as much as you can, top of mind. And I'm going to talk this real quick. There's an AI receptionist that we're using. Oh, this is just an example of some texting. Very simple. Some of this is AI and automated. This is problem moving. Looks like we missed your call. We'll be sure to return it. That was an automatic reply. So somebody called and we hit reply. Some of them are spam. And if we notice it's spam, we hit do not disturb. So we never text that company again. We just have to monitor it. But sounds good. We'll be calling shortly. Okay. And so a phone call happened. Sounds good. We'll be calling shortly. Okay. Hi, Damon. We sent over a moving quote as promised. Please check your email. I got it signed. And then there's just follow-up text messages. He doesn't do a whole lot, but again, it's just being relentless with the review request. Preventing abandoned form requests. So this is kind of what our automation looks like internally. And we just got all these different touches, notifications to you. It could be a text message. It could be an email. Hey, you got a new lead. Be sure to check it out. Or a text message that says you got a new lead. Here's their name. Here's their phone number. And so that you can just and call. So depending on what your preferences are, we can adjust that. But we're always trying to prevent those abandoned form requests. If you get those forms, you need to reply as quickly as you can. Pretend like somebody left you a voicemail. Call back instantly. Do not wait. You will lose that. If you wait 24 hours, you will lose that lead. So just, you got to be on it. Confirming receipts, like I talked about, follow-up estimates, confirming dates and times of the move, sending final reminders, requesting feedback. All these things can be automated. You do not have to open up Outlook or open up your Google, type that in and send it out. This all can be in here, automated. And if you're going to scale, if you're going to get to the 1 million mark, 10 million mark, you have to have systems like this. You physically don't have time to do this. So you need to incorporate that. Live chat, again, I talked about live chat. Somebody needs to be there. Again, you could have AI answer it, but just be really careful. People are a little kind of not quite sure where it's the best tool. Again, reviews, feedback automation. We have business cards that we design. We'll send you a stack. On it is a QR code. It's not a contact us. It's purely for reviews. And we ask that you have stacks of these in your truck and you hand them out like candy. And just trying to get as many reviews as possible. But that's not it. We need to follow up. I need emails that follow up after that. So one card, you could be signing off as you're leaving the house, doing a tour. Everything good? Yeah, great. We got one scratch. All right, we'll take care of that for you. Sign it off. Hey, in the meantime, could you give us a review? Awkward silence. Give them a QR code and stand there and wait for them to open it up and leave a review. It's weird. I know. Train your team on how to do it and just live in the awkwardness. It is what it is. If they say, no, I don't have time, that's fine. Walk away, but you're going to follow up again and again and again. And we have systems, again, automation. If they leave a review, it stops. So they won't get follow-up reviews. Again, same checklist that's on the checklist, just making sure that you have these systems in place. How is it working too? We had one just over the summer. He hadn't gotten a review in 2 months. I'm like, dude, what is happening? What is going on? All we did is we instituted that follow-up. So he gave us all of his emails and we sent them out organically. We didn't do it all at once. Over the next week, we sent out a bunch of them. He got 8 more reviews and it finally kicked it off again, but he needed that extra push. So tracking, this is where the numbers come in. This is how you're going to know if you're doing the right things or not. Is it driving leads? Are you converting the leads? We need, in order to triple the leads in revenue, one of those things is that conversion. If you've got a 10% conversion versus a 30%, and that can be the difference between a $36,000 a month and a $12,000 a month. So just realize how much that conversion matters. Are you tracking the ROI? If you have an agency doing work for you, how many total leads did you get from that work? Where did that number come from? For us, we have real-time numbers. We're having one with an attribution problem, but we're working on it. But real-time numbers. You can go in, you can see exactly how many phone calls you got. You can see they came from Google Ad, they came from a map, they came from a local search, they came direct, they came from a postcard. You can see that. And real time, there's no questions about where they came from. So find out what your ROI is. Look at your analytics. You want to find out where they're coming from. Is it organic? Is it paid leads? Where are they coming from? And are they doing anything on the site? I'm not so much worried about traffic to the site. I'm more wanting about engagement on the site. How are they staying on the site? What are they doing? That's what Google's looking at. There is a number, there's events. When you go to analytics, there's events. I might have it in one of these. Here. Sessions, engaged sessions. So that means people are sticking around, they're doing stuff, they're clicking, they're watching video. Engaged. Engagement rate, average engagement time per session. So averaging about 1 minute and 40 seconds per session. Events are, there's events and there's key events. Events are scroll, click, basic stuff. Key events, they clicked, and you determine what's a key event. Did they click to call? That's a key event. I can count that. Did they fill out a form? Press the form button. That gets tracked. That's a key event. So I need to know how many events, and then that gets broken down. I can now see, oh, key events, SEO, key events, paid ads. Oh, we had 30 key events. It's not perfect. Don't look at that 12,000, and that's exactly it. It's a gauge of how well each of these channels are doing. I don't look at that and say, oh, you got 12,000 leads. That's not true. It's events. Things happened. Sometimes on a phone, I don't know if you've ever done this, I might accidentally press the button to call. Well, that gets tracked. That's a key event, but I didn't mean to. So yeah, but that got tracked. So just it's a number just to know what's working and not working. It's not an exact number of how many people came through. It does help us analyze and if there's an issue going on. So if we're doing a paid ad campaign and we've got key events that are slowly going down, that's a barometer. We gotta look at the paid ads and see what's going on. Looks like I was going to start something there. All right. So make sure you've done all this work, website, paid ads, you got your map, everything's in place, but you've got to have something to track it. Smart Moving's one way, but you want to make sure your Google Analytics is set up. You're looking at that on a regular basis. You got some kind of keyword ranking. It's not perfect. Don't look at it every day because it will change every day. You want some call tracking. You want a dashboard to show you where your numbers are and how well you're doing. And you need some type of CRM. I think a marketing CRM, like what we have with the Moving Up, HubSpot's one of them. Active Campaign's one of them. MailChimp, similar kind of thing. It doesn't quite do what these other tools do, but either way. All right. And then there's your operational CRM, which is Smart Moving, MoveIQ, and all these others. So those are your dispatching, manage your team, manage your trucks, all that. But you still need a true marketing CRM. And back to that checklist, same checklist. It's just all the same stuff in here. Now, few of you that stuck in, nice. Let me ask you guys, what are your top actions? What are you going to do? And you can either type it in the chat. I would love to see something in the chat, or speak up, unmute yourself. And Michael, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
It's interesting.
What do you
I
think?
was thinking about the door hangers and everything. That's
Yeah.
something that is very important.
Yeah, why not? It's not expensive.
No.
Yeah, go to Vistaprint, print out a bunch of them. Just have a stack of them in the trucks. Just poop, poop, drop them off. Absolutely. What else?
Yeah.
What else do you think you need to do?
No, I got to do a lot. Okay. I thought I had it.
Did I just overwhelm you in ways?
You bombarded me. That's what you did.
I've done my job. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I wish I could make it simpler for you, but it does get complicated, but yeah.
Yeah. No, like this right here, what you just showed me, it opened my eyes a lot.
Oh,
There's a
good.
lot of things that I missed out.
Okay. All right.
I
Well, get that
appreciate that.
checklist. At least you can kind of prioritize what you need to be looking at, for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Reputation, man.
Oh yeah.
Number one.
Reviews is very important.
Yep.
They push you up on Google and everything.
It does. It does. And it does help with conversions. If I go to your
Mhm.
site and you've got a 4.5 Google rating, it's a little questionable. 4.1, 4.2, you're like, oh, maybe not, But you got 4.8, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm a 4.9.
You're 4.9?
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. That means you got like a ton of fives and like 1.
Yeah.
Somebody wasn't happy.
No, it's a long story.
Well, here's my feeling. If I see 200 reviews and they're all 5-star, I get really sus. Like, really, nobody was unhappy. I mean, 200 reviews, and I just kind of like,
nobody's perfect.
yeah, there's no company.
I was upset myself. Yeah, I was upset when I got that one bad review, and I was like, oh, it was just a misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them.
Yep. Yeah. And all you have to do is respond. If you respond in that professional manner, people go, oh, okay. Because I mean, we get it. Most people look at reviews. We get it. We understand. So just answer it. It's a sign that you're growing too. I think it's a sign that you're engaged and people are like you. And if you get that 1 star.
See, me personally, I'll take my jobs and everything. I try to treat everybody like it's my stuff.
Yeah, that's a good.
I take it very, 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 very personal. Right. I try to help them out the best I can. That's the way I am.
Right.
And I just don't want you to just see you right there. If I see you at Walmart, hey Mike, hey, how you doing? Hey, that's awesome.
No, that's a great one. All right. So you're going to work on your reviews, and you're going to work on getting some print stuff for your doors, some door hangers. What's the third one that you're thinking to work on?
Get more advertising, get it more things I got to do on Facebook also to be more to be visible. Out more.
Yeah. You've got a personality. You could do some videos.
Oh yeah, like me. I'm originally from New York, as you notice. Okay, and I'm a very business person. I'm a very open-minded person. I said nobody's perfect. Nobody could tell me out here every single move it came out to be pristine.
Right.
Okay. Right. Because everybody has mistakes.
That's right.
And
But if you own up to it and you make it right, people love you for it.
That's what I always say. Everything.
Yeah.
I'm one person that I say if I did it, I'll be the first one to. I go to the customer myself and I tell,
Yeah.
look, I did this.
Yeah.
What could I do to do this to make this right?
Right. You'll get a customer that's a lifelong customer when you do things like that. I think I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
You know, you admit to it,
Mhm.
you make it right, and they're like, "You're the best. Thank you." So
Oh, I, believe it or not, I got so many repeat customers.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah. Because you probably, you know, again, you built that relationship. You did give them a good experience. So
yeah. I just because I'm very old type. You know what? You know what got me into open a moving company? I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm originally from New York and I live in Florida now. And I've seen so many moving companies coming down from Florida, coming down here. Okay, they give you a price, and come down here and give you a different price.
Hmm.
That bothered me. Okay,
Hmm.
it happened to my next door neighbor.
Hmm.
If you give a price, I'm very, like I said, I'm very old type. If this is the price I give you, this is the price that doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. That's the price I gave you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I am,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Interesting.
I do that to everybody.
Yeah.
And so far, my review has been awesome.
Yeah.
My my customers are happy.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, it's not
That's
about money.
good.
To me, I look at my jobs when I go out of state.
Mhm.
It's like to me, I was like, there's places that I haven't been. I was like, oh, cool, and I was like, oh, I get paid to get travel. You can't ask for more for that.
Yeah. Um, yes, yes, I will send out a copy of the presentation, and I'm throwing this on YouTube too. So just so you know that you'll be able to all the stuff. I'll get you the presentation. All the stuff is I'll get that to you. And Kirk says the biggest issue is I know a few who pay for reviews. I agree. That's
Yeah.
a crock. That's BS. But I'm trying to fight City Hall. I need to just accept the game, right? And you're right. I think that's just the way it is. You just have to fight back the best way you know. And like you were saying, Michael, and just be the best moving company that people can hire. You know, just be that. Hey,
Well, not me personally. I don't believe in that. But
yeah,
like I said, I'm very old type.
yeah,
It's what the customer
yeah.
experience.
I like sleeping well at night. I like going to bed and sleeping like a baby because I know I did right that day. I didn't try to bamboozle somebody. I didn't try
Right.
to, you know, and so I think people that buy reviews, it'll come back. It'll bite you at some point. Because if you're having to buy reviews, it just means that could be an operationally, you can't get the reviews because you're not doing well. That's kind of how I look at it.
True,
But
true.
we're in that world. Others don't see that. That's the problem. Everyone go to it and they think it's a real review. Or you get people that give you bad reviews. And I know we've seen this. They go to Facebook, Yelp, BBB. They get their
Yeah.
sister, their mom, their brother, their son, and they all go on. They give you bad reviews. That's just, you just got to report it as best you can. So, but yeah, other than that, anyone else? Please. We got a few of us left. Conversation.
The only person I see is in my computer. I only see you. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, there, if you look over the participants, you can see there's some leftover. Kirk and Kirk Christian. I think I don't know if it's the same person. Now, if you want, that's our, go to the movingmarketingresults.com/schedule. You can schedule some time with me. I'm all about having conversations. I am not a rock star salesperson at all. I'm like you, Michael. I just do right by people.
Right.
But I'm happy to have a conversation, see what and I'll do a little audit. I'll take a look at your site and I'll give you kind of my opinions on it. If you want to work together, that's fine, but I just want to help you out. Let me know, just schedule that. Or if you're not,
Okay.
happy to do an audit anyway. I'll just send you an email, a little video.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks, Kirk. Hey, let me know if I can help out. Appreciate you. Again, I'm going to throw this on YouTube. And everyone, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's go 2026. Let's do this. $1 million
Let's do
each.
it. Yes.
And
Take care.
let's go. You too, guys. Bye. Appreciate you all.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye, Kirk.